going to inform my audience on caffeine and the effects on the body. Wrigley's Gum was promoting a new pack of gum with 8 pieces, each containing as much caffeine as half a cup of coffee. One pack of this gum is like having 4 cups of coffee in your pocket. Caffeine is even being added to jelly beans, marshmallows, sunflower seeds, and other snacks for its stimulant effects. Caffeine is not just in coffee anymore. It may be in your jelly beans, waffles, gum, water, and syrup. The Food and Drug Administration has announced that, in response to a trend in which caffeine is being added to a growing number of products, the agency will investigate the safety of caffeine in food products, particularly the effects on children and adolescents. I am going to inform you on caffeine, the drug of choice by many. Caffeine is a naturally occurring chemical stimulant that exists in coffee, tea, chocolate, and cola drinks. Until now, the gum is just one more unfortunate example of the trend to add caffeine to food. The average individual consumes a copious amount of caffeine annually. 90% of people in the world use caffeine in one form or another, according to the FDA. As such statistics indicate that in the United States, 80% of adults consume caffeine every day. Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant. Your central nervous system includes your brain, spinal cord, and other nerves in your body. Caffeine's main effect on your body is to make you feel more awake and alert for a while, but it can also cause problems. Like most things in life, however, a point can be reached where consuming too much coffee, more than 3 cups a day, can lead to some relatively unpleasant side effects, including irritability, upset stomach, fast heartbeat, insomnia, and so on. For healthy adults, the FDA has cited 400 milligrams a day. That's about 4 or 5 cups of coffee, as an amount not generally associated with dangerous negative effects. An 8-ounce cup of coffee brewed has 70 to 180 milligrams. An 8-ounce cup of tea has 20 to 35 milligrams. A can of soda pop diet has 41 to 61 milligrams. Regular soda pop has 23 to 41 milligrams. Energy drinks per ounce have 10 to 140 milligrams of caffeine. Chocolate, an average 5-ounce bar, contains 30 milligrams of caffeine. So why do people become addicted to caffeine? Addictiveness of caffeine. A person who drinks 1 cup of coffee a day over 7 days will build a tolerance to this amount of caffeine. This person will have to consume 2 cups of coffee to feel the same effect as before, but again will build a tolerance to that amount of caffeine. Over time, this cycle will lead to an addiction to caffeine and will have negative side effects on the body. For every 100 milligrams of caffeine you consume, you lose 6 milligrams of calcium from your bone density, which weakens your bones over time. When people use caffeine every day, their bodies get used to it, and they don't get the good effects of feeling more awake and able to concentrate unless they use it more. This is called tolerance. Some studies show that caffeine causes a physical dependence or addiction. If a person gets withdrawal symptoms when they suddenly stop using caffeine, then the person has a physical dependence on caffeine. Withdrawal symptoms don't feel good and can include severe headaches, muscle aches, temporary feelings of depression, and irritability. When people experience these symptoms, they often just take in more caffeine to make them go away. This cycle is hard to break. Some of the side effects that caffeine can cause when you exceed 500 to 600 milligrams of caffeine per day can produce the following side effects: an increased blood pressure and heart rate leading to heart disease, ulcers, esophageal problems, anxiety, insomnia, tension, dehydration, and emotional fatigue. Coffee, but not caffeine, consumption was associated with marginally increased gestational lengths, babies. but not with spontaneous preterm delivery risk. Caffeine intake was consistently associated with decreased birth weights in babies and increased the odds of small for gestational age babies. The association was strengthened by concordant results for caffeine clinical implications, as even caffeine consumption below the recommended maximum amount, 200 milligrams a day, in the Nordic countries, and the United States has 300 milligrams a day according to the World Health Organization, who was associated with an increased risk for small for gestational age babies. There was also an increase between coffee consumption and bladder cancer. Male coffee drinkers and non-smoking coffee drinkers were more likely to develop bladder cancer. This is from a data analysis done by Dr. Wu. Did you know that caffeine doesn't make a drunk person sober or fit to drive? It does not get rid of the effects of alcohol. Some people have been known to add this to their alcohol to maybe change the effects, but it's a false one. A 38-year study done by the Johns Hopkins Medical School, more than 1,000 medical students found in 1985 that those who drank 5 or more cup of coffees a day were 2.8 times as likely to develop heart problems compared to those who didn't consume coffee. Caffeine is used in both prescription and over-the-counter medicines to treat tiredness or drowsiness and to improve the effects of some pain relievers. People with heart problems shouldn't use caffeine because it makes their heart work too hard, and people with anxiety problems or panic attacks may find that caffeine makes them feel worse. After drinking caffeine, it usually reaches its peak level in your blood within 1 hour and stays there for 4 to 6 hours. Caffeine increases the release of acid in your stomach, sometimes leading to an upset stomach or heartburn. Understanding that caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it makes your body lose more water, can make the person be dehydrated throughout the day. Understanding the effects of caffeine on your body. Coffee is a natural stimulant, but too much of anything can be bad for you. Be informed. Learn how much caffeine is in your foods and drinks. Check the caffeine content table to see how much caffeine you take in each day. If you're taking too much caffeine, you may want to cut back. This isn't easy. Reduce your caffeine slowly to make withdrawal symptoms, like bad headaches and feeling tired and depressed, as mild as possible.